David Griffin had another comparison for Zion. Let's take a look at what he had to say. Here's what he told The Athletic. He said, the thing about Zion, it's not that he's going to carry you offensively. It's that he's going to be able to facilitate offense. If you look at him as an extremely athletic Draymond Green type who may be able to facilitate all things for others and get out and transition and make plays, that's exciting. And because that's what you natively really does. We're not going to ask him to carry an undue burden. We're going to ask him to be Zion. I mean, I remember LeBron James coming out of high school and I said, like, this is one of the best passers, like a natural passer I've ever seen, a facilitator. I mean, Zion as a facilitator, as a Draymond Green, get the ball in the middle and make plays for others. What do you think about that philosophy?
I love it. I love it. Look, he certainly has the right, IQ for that. You talk to people who have been around him, particularly at Duke. They say he's one of the smartest guys that they've ever seen. Like, he really knows how to play the angles on offense and on defense, for that matter, and uses his athleticism to his advantage with that stuff. So I do. I think that he is good enough, despite how amazing he is physically, and everyone just kind of talks about how he overwhelms people there. He can think the game through. I don't think there's any question about that. And that's what Draymond does. Draymond is big and strong. He's not as athletically gifted as Zion, but I think Zion has some of those attributes, and I think that will come with time, that we'll see more and more of that. But they've got some of those guys on that roster, right? Lonzo Ball is certainly one of those guys. Drew Holiday is one of those guys. J.J. Redick is a thinking man's guy on the floor. Like, they've got a lot of guys on that floor who are really smart basketball players. Brandon Ingram is another guy. So I do think that those guys will be able to complement each other, and Zion can be kind of the centrifugal force of all of that.
I love the idea of centrifugal force, because that is kind of what Draymond was, especially back before they had KD. They would run a pick and roll. Draymond would get the ball in the middle. He'd have some room to operate, maybe throw it to a Clay in the corner, maybe throw a lob to somebody. And you were in Summer League. I'm kind of in love with Jackson Hayes. Like, just try walk me off of this. I'm in love with Jackson Hayes. Not that he's the future of the league, is going to be the best center, but as a young DeAndre Jordan type. Like, I'm going to throw you lobs, and you're going to get blocks, you're going to get rebounds. What did you see from Jackson Hayes in Summer League?
He's got great energy. He's a really good teammate. Like, he does the little things right. Like, he sets good screens, right? Like, he goes up and fights for rebounds. I do think he needs to put on a little bit of weight. That's something that when I talked to the Pelicans staff, they talked about. But they really loved at Summer League, and this is something that we really keyed in on and focused on the broadcast, his chemistry initially, right out of the gate, with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who's the other kid they drafted in the first round at 17. I talked to the Pelicans people, Jacoby, and they told me they had him way higher on their board than where they actually drafted him. Remember, they traded down a couple of times to get into about the middle of that first round, and they were able to take him there. They think that he's a guy that can push for a rotation spot in that, bevy of guards that they have back there.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports analysis and highlights, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.